Alright, you laddies, my name is Jacksepticeye and I am back from Insomnia. I was at the convention all weekend, from Thursday until yesterday. Well, it was today for me, but yesterday for you guys. So I just got home back today, back to Ireland. It was in the UK. I know I talked about it before, but I'm just clarifying in case somebody didn't know. But I was there all weekend meeting you guys. I went to see how many people would show up if I went to a UK event, because I'm always going to America events. I'm always going over to the States to do stuff over there, and it's kind of unfair for people in Europe who want to meet me. I just spit all towards the camera. It's sort of unfair because people have to travel a really long way, even though they're closer to me than they would be to America, naturally, where we all live now. It was so much fun. So many more people showed up than I ever expected. Because I thought, like, if I go to an event there, and I tweeted about it a few times and mentioned it in some videos, and I thought if I go there, some people will show up. Some people who actually really like the channel are going to show up and meet me and want to talk and hang out. And it was going to be a ton of fun. And I had a panel to do. I'll talk about that in a minute. And I thought, like, there would be some people in the crowd there and that would be fun to interact with them. Because I went with the people who do my merch. They had a booth there, so I thought, hey, why not just go with them and, like, set up shop there at their booth and do a signing at their booth. It made the most sense. And then when we actually got there, the whole place filled up. Like, the booth was packed. And so many people came out to get stuff signed and to get pictures and everything. And I was completely blown away. I had no idea. I did not expect that kind of turnout. I was not expecting it at all. I was really flattered and really humbled by it. So thank you everyone who came out over the weekend to see me. Like, I have no idea why. It's so crazy to still think that people, like, waited for hours and hours, stood in line just to come up and say hi to me. Just to come up to get my signature on something, to get a picture with me. Like, when I think back a couple of years ago, what I was doing with my life, and to think about where it is now, to think that some people are waiting that long just for a chance to come up and shake your hand or anything, is just bonkers. I still can't comprehend it, even though I've been doing this for 2 years, almost 3 years. It'll be 3 years in March. But I've been doing this for a little while now, and I'm still not used to it. I've done other conventions before, I'm still not used to it. I'm not used to people wanting to come up and having that kind of reaction to me, and it's so awesome. It's the best feeling in the world. There's one thing I was kind of worried about though when I was there, because I went with the merch guys who do, like, the Sam plushies and the shirts and everything like that. I was kind of worried that when I was going to be at the stand signing stuff, I was only there out of convenience more than anything, because there was no other people there that I knew, like no other companies or networks or anything like that. So I was there and I was signing stuff at their booth because it was the handiest thing to do. But I was so worried that when people got there and saw me at the merch booth, that they're going to worry that I was just there to sell stuff. That's not why I went there, I promise. I would never actually go to an event just to sell something, because it feels weird, it feels shady, it feels rotten. I don't like doing that. Okay, so on to the actual event. All I did was sign for, like, the entire thing. I didn't go, because that's what I wanted to do. I thought if I'm going to go to these conventions, I might as well go to meet as many people as I can, and that's exactly what I did, and I'm super happy that I got to do that. All I did all 3 days was sign stuff. There was games there to play and everything, but normally I don't really bother with them. But I went and I signed for a total of 18 hours over 3 days, which sounds like a long time. It sounds like a really, really long time because it's almost a full day. But it didn't feel like that when I was actually doing it. When I was meeting all these people, everybody was so different and so unique that every, like, person or couple or group that came up that wanted stuff signed or wanted pictures was always so reinvigorating and fresh and new. So, like, when somebody would come up, it was a completely new story every time. Somebody would come up and tell me, some people were really quick. Some people would just come up and be like, can I get a picture? And they'd take a picture and they're like, oh, thank you, I like your videos, and they'd walk off. And that was perfectly fine. That was awesome. I really like meeting everybody. But then some other people would come up and they would stop for a little while and they would tell you their story about how they found your channel, what you've done for them, what they like about the channel, different kinds of things. And it really, really hit me in the heart really hard from a few of them. Because some people really, really genuinely are so sincere and so nice. Everybody was so nice that I met. There was no bad people that I met. When you actually get to see those people in person, up close, and you get to hug them, you get to shake their hand, you get to talk to them. It's so awesome to see the genuine reactions on their faces, the genuine emotion on their faces. And some people had some really, really nice things to say to me, and I was so... I keep saying flattered, but I was so humbled by it. Like, when you hear those stories, everything else just melts away. All this, like the competition on YouTube, the subscribers, the views, all that stuff, you don't even think about it once. It all melts away, it's never in your mind at all. and you just get to enjoy meeting people who really like what you do. And you get to meet people who you really want to meet because they watch what you do. For the first 2 days, all I did was sign. That's all I wanted to do. The people at Insomnia were like, you can go take a break. Well, I did take a break. I went and got food and then I came back and signed again. But they were all like, go take a break. Go do what you want. Go see some games. Go like play stuff. Go out into town if you want. Go get food somewhere else if you want. I was like, no, I'm gonna get, as soon as I got in the morning, 10 AM, I was signing stuff and then I went and got food, came back, started signing stuff again, because that's all I wanted to do. I was there just to meet you guys because it was so important to me that everybody got their time to meet me. Because, again, I'm not in the UK very often, I'm not in Europe very often for these things. So I thought, while I'm there, I might as well maximize the amount of time I have to meet everyone that I could. Because I really, really wanted to. It wasn't just about pleasing people either, it was because I really, really wanted to as well. It wasn't a chore to do, it was so much fun the entire weekend. I never had a bad moment. Well, there was some stuff that I wasn't really happy with towards the end. But on the Sunday, we had like a panel thing. It was called a talk show, but it was kind of a panel. Me and Dahi got up and did it, and there was a host there and he was asking some questions. But they were like, do you want to talk about yourself? Like, there's anything you want to talk about? And I said, no, I just want to do a Q&A with people there. And that was the thing that really set it off for me, that like really blew my mind over the whole weekend, because there was so many people there. There was a lot of people at the booth to sign stuff, which was cool as well, but the panel was insane. There was, like, all the chairs were filled, there were people sitting on the floor, like 3 more rows, people sitting on the floor in the front, there was people all the way wrapped around, just sitting there, listening to what I had to say, asking me questions. Which, well, Dahi as well, don't get me wrong. And I hope I answered them well, I hope I did them to the best of my ability. You can see it online, actually, if you look up the panel from it, or the talk show. It is on YouTube, so you can go watch it if you want. I think I posted it on Twitter, actually, that you can go watch it as well. So let me know what you thought about it. Let me know. For any of you who weren't there, I'm so sorry if you couldn't come. I saw stories from people saying they had tickets, but then they had to work. And that's awful. I really wish you could come out and meet me. And I was recording videos for people there who said that their friends couldn't come, that they were there, they couldn't get tickets, they couldn't afford them, anything like that. And that broke my heart to think that there was people out there who really, really wanted to come. People who only lived like an hour away, who still couldn't come. People who lived in the same town, but couldn't afford to get tickets to come, or couldn't get the time off work to come. And I really wish you could. I really wish. And there's people in the crowd at the panel who wanted different things, like selfies and everything, and I had to turn them down. Because it's unfair if people are asking for individual things, because everybody in the room then wants an individual thing, and I can't do it for that person because then it's unfair to everybody else in the room, and that broke my heart to do. But the real thing that broke my heart over the whole weekend was the final signing on the last day in the big hall before the panel. There was a hall 2, which was just a giant empty room to sign stuff in, and there was a huge queue there to sign stuff. But I had to go, I was only there for a half hour because I had to go to the panel. I was trying to maximize my time as much as possible. I ate super quick, and then I was like, okay, let's go do this signing. And I went in and I did that for a half hour for all I could before the panel started. And then once the panel started, that was cool. We came off the panel, we went straight back to Hall 2 to sign again. Because, again, I wanted to maximize my time for signing. But so many people turned out. I think there was like 1,000 people in that hall. There was a gigantic line all the way around. I meant to take a picture of it, but I forgot. There was a huge line around, and again, I'm not used to that. Because I'm used to going to conventions with Mark, Bob, and Wade, or Felix, or Ken, and then we all do signings together. So when there's a huge line there, I'm like, oh, of course, they're here. There's a lot of people here for Mark. There's a lot of people here for Felix, that kind of thing. But all these people were here just for me. And I don't know the words to describe that kind of feeling. Because it was one part amazing, and just completely awesome, and again flattering, but then it was another part of it was like, I'm not going to get time to meet all these people. The first few days I was meeting people and we were able to talk, and everyone was able to get like 5 minutes with me, and I was really able to make it like as best as I could, because that was really important to me, that everybody got the best experience they could possible out of meeting me. Because they were queuing for hours and hours and hours, and their feet were sore and their legs were sore and they were so tired. And when they came up to me, I was like, okay, make it as good as possible for these people. Like just talk to them. Like, get them to ask the questions that they really wanted to ask. But the last signing then, when it came to it, people were coming in, getting their 5 minutes, and then the staff came over to me and they're like, okay, if you want to get through all of this group, you're going to have to speed things up. you're gonna have to just go down the line. And what they ended up doing was cordoning off the area, and I had to go down the line myself. They weren't able to come to me. I had to go down the line myself, and then I was only allowed one signature or one picture. A lot of people were getting a signature and a picture still, but the security were just yelling out like, just a signature or a picture, guys. And like, I hated that. I understood that they had to do it, but I hated it because people were starting to get rushed. And then I had to explain to people that they were getting rushed. Even when I tried to explain it out loud to people, the security like, okay, we have to start this. And I was going down the line, like signing stuff, taking a picture, go. Signing stuff, taking a picture, go. And it broke my fucking heart, man. I can't do that. I can't do signings like that. But there was no way I was going to get through everybody if I was doing it the other way I wanted to do. So I was so conflicted. I didn't know what to do. And people were coming down the line. I was signing stuff for people. And then, like, they were so eager. And I could see on their faces that they really wanted to say stuff to me. And people were like, can I have a hug? And when I was hugging them, the security were like, you're only allowed 2 seconds. And they were counting it down out loud. How fucking shit is that? And people were getting hugs at me, and I could tell when I said goodbye to them that they were walking off. And I looked them in the eye and I said it was really nice to meet them. And I could tell they had so much more they wanted to say to me. And they were walking out, and some of them were just so heartbroken, and then it broke my heart. I was signing stuff for a little kid, and he was really giddy and he was really eager, and security like walked him off. And I started to tear up in the middle of the signing, and I was like, okay, fight it back, because it was ruining it for the next person, and I was so rushed through it, and I couldn't do it. It was not the way I wanted to do the signing. But I did manage to get through everybody. I was there for hours and hours doing it, and I'm really glad that I did get through everybody, but I'm so sorry if you feel like you were rushed. I feel like I didn't meet people the way I wanted to. I didn't feel like I met people the way they wanted to meet me either. And I don't know how to describe the feeling of having to turn people away. It's the most horrible feeling in the world, and I really didn't want to do it. But at the end of the day, I had to, because there was not enough hours. The convention was closing. It was the last day. People needed to pack up all the stuff that was around the area. So I'm so sorry. I really wanted to meet people as much as I could. There was still, even after the 18 hours that I did, there were still people that needed to be turned away. And I don't know. There's just not enough hours in the day, man. I really wish I could do it for longer. If I did have the hours in the day, I would have stayed there all day until everybody got a signature and was able to talk to me. So I'm so sorry. But thank you everybody so much who came out to meet me. It completely blew my expectations, and you guys made me so happy over the weekend. There was no time, except that last part when I got like a bit upset that things had to be rushed through. But again, I understood why they had to do it. There was nothing they could do either. It's just not the way I would have wanted to do things. But throughout the whole weekend, I was so happy meeting everybody. Everybody had so many stories. I met so many cosplayers. I met Undertale cosplayers. And when they came up to me, I was like doing the voices for them, and it made them so happy. And that really made me happy as well. The whole weekend was such a blast. Just meeting people non-stop was so much fun. When we came up to the next day, everyone was like, are you sure you want to go that long again? I was like, yes, bring them on, bring them on. I cannot fucking wait to meet people again. That's all I wanted to do over the whole weekend, and I really hope you guys had fun too. I know you're waiting in the line for a really long time. Thank you so much for waiting in line for me to come down just to like sign stuff, to take pictures. It's so awesome to see that, and I'm so humbled by it. Thank you so much for being there. Again, I know your legs hurt. I know everybody was tired, but hopefully it was worthwhile. I tried to make it that every person that came up to me, it was worthwhile, and they got what they wanted out of it. And I told them it was so nice to meet them. I gave people hugs. I give good hugs, man. I'm telling you. I gave everybody hugs. I hugged so many people. Hopefully I don't get sick, but I don't care. It was worth it if I do. But oh, such a good weekend, such a blast. I love conventions. I love meeting all you guys, and I cannot wait for the next one. The next one's probably going to be PAX East, which is in April. Oh wait, I have the South by Southwest Gaming Awards in March. They were asking me if I want to do a meet and greet for that. I'm going to see if I can, because I would love to do that. I don't want to just go do the awards and leave again, but I don't know how my time is, because PAX East is right after that in April, and it takes a long time to prepare videos. So I won't be going to PAX South. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people are going to that already. They have tickets bought and hoping that I was going, but it's too close to Christmas. I have plans for Christmas as well, so I have to get like right back into preparing videos for that. So I'm so sorry. I just want to meet you guys all the time. It's the best feeling in the world. It's why I love doing YouTube. If you guys weren't there to meet, then it just wouldn't be worthwhile to me, because you guys mean so much to me. I wouldn't do this if you weren't there watching, and I really love you guys to bits. Sincerely, I love you. I've seen people say, I don't know if he cares about us anymore, but hopefully any of you who were there over the weekend can tell that I really do. I was having so much fun. Hopefully it didn't look like I was bored or anything, or tired. I was trying my best to keep that energy up for every single person that was coming along. And it wasn't that hard to do, because you guys know I have boundless amounts of energy anyway. I could sign for days if I was allowed to. But I just hope that everybody knew how happy I was to meet them over the weekend. So thank you so much for being there. You made my weekend amazing, and I can't wait to do it again for the next event. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, punch the like button in the face like a boss. And high fives all around. Thank you guys, and I will say all your news. Who would you like to be from Star Wars? Motherfucking Palpatine. Him and his Buick and his unlimited power! Echo! Man, I also forgot to mention I got a lot of stuff from people, so thank you for those. I mean, it sucks that if people don't watch the End Slate stuff, that they're not going to see this, but hopefully if the people ship it to me, I'll be able to do an opening on screen again, like I did with the Indie PopCon stuff. I'm so excited.